We feel the rain. We feel the spirit. The heartbeat of heaven. Let's we feel the rains of your love. We feel the winds of your spirit. Now the heartbeat, let us hear and let it rain. Let it rain. Open the floodgates of heaven and let it rain. Let it rain. Open the floodgates of heaven and let it rain. Let it rain. Open the floodgates of heaven. Let it rain. Let it rain. Open the floodgates of heaven and let it rain. Please let it rain. Open the floodgates of heaven. Let it rain. Please let it rain. Let it rain. Please let it rain. Open the floodgates of heaven, floodgates of heaven, and let it rain. Let it rain. Open the floodgates of heaven, the floodgates of heaven, and let it rain. Let it rain. Open the floodgates of heaven, the floodgates of heaven, and let it rain. Let it rain.
All right, all right, good people. God bless you. God bless you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to tonight's session with me, your host, Bishop Wayne Malcolm. Good to see some of you all coming on already, coming in live. That is absolutely fantastic. So I should, I guess, let you know that we are already streaming to YouTube. So this should be fun. This should be fun. And Paul, I've already made you a co-host. Welcome, Ryan, my brother Ryan. Haven't seen you for a while, man. Good to see you. Always following you hard on social media. How are you?
Very good, Bishop. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're amazing. You're doing amazing work, and God bless you. I can see Camille. I see the one Camille. I can see Bianca. I can see Mike Abbott. I'm going to ask you all to do me a favor today, unless there is some material reason why you cannot. I'm going to ask you all to put your cameras on, because we're streaming live to YouTube, and it would be really nice for people to see people, those people that do join us by YouTube. It'd be really nice for them to see you. So please do go ahead, put your camera on. Great, great, great. I see cameras coming on. Ryan, you're driving, so you're forgiven. You're forgiven if you need to. If you need to keep your camera off. That's cool. That's cool. And anyone else that has a legitimate reason why you don't want to come on camera, you're more than welcome. All right, how is everyone doing tonight? How are you all feeling? What's good?
Good, thank you.
Hey, Veronica, God bless you. You're keeping well?
Yes, thank you, Bishop.
Fantastic, fantastic. I can see that I can see that Denise made it in. How are you, Denise?
I'm driving, Bishop.
You're driving too. Okay, I got you. So you have a legitimate reason. Please keep your eye on the road. Oh my word, is that Danelia in the sun?
It is. Blessings, everyone. Bless Bishop.
Well, bless you. Where are you, Danelia, exactly?
I'm back in Miami. Got back
You're
yesterday.
back here. You're in Miami, and the sun is clearly shining, and so good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see who else is brave enough to put on a camera. Tell me where you're calling in from and how you're doing.
Hello, Bishop.
Hey, Mighty Mike Abbott. How are you, sir?
Excellent. And yourself, sir?
I'm blessed. For the benefit of those that don't know you, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Southampton, Hampshire, United Kingdom, and I wish my cupboard behind me was more tidy.
Well, it is good to see you. It is good to see you. Okay, so Paul, how are you today, Paul? Are you well?
All good. All good. Looking forward to this.
Fantastic. Well, you're co-hosting with me tonight, so you can let people in. I'm going to put the slides back up on the screen. I'm going to ask everyone if you could please mute your line. Keep yourself muted, and throughout the presentation, we'll do the presentation. Then I'll open up for some Q&A, and we'll do what we can to be a blessing to you tonight. Amen. Amen. All right. Exciting. So I'm guessing you can all see my screen.
Yes, Bishop.
Fantastic. So this really is an epic night, because this night is designed to conclude a series that we've been in for the last month. And typically our series are 4-part series. And we have a 5th Tuesday in this month of November. And so I decided to do something a little different. Now, for the benefit of those that are tuning in, perhaps for the first time, you'll see a big logo to the right of my head that says iGlobal Network. And the iGlobal Network is a network of believers who are very serious about their professional lives, their prophetic purposes, and they are committed to personal development. So we are a personal development, a coaching and learning organization. And we are on a journey. We are on a journey making preparations for the next level and for new things that we sense in God. And so this particular month of November, we focused in on mapping out 2022. And in the very first week, we looked at how to create and develop a life map. And then in the second session, we looked at a career map, and then we looked at a financial map, a money map, and then we looked at a legacy map. And so we looked at various forms and strategies and techniques for mapping out particular areas of life, aspects of life. Well, tonight, we're going to dive into success mapping. We're going to look at some success mapping strategies. And I'm really excited about tonight's session. I'm really delighted to be a part of your life and legacy through this ministry. And I'm going to open up with a word of prayer, because we are unashamedly Christ-centered and very much focused on the kingdom of God. So let's pray in Jesus' name. So, Father, in the glorious and victorious name of your Son, our Savior, Jesus, we are grateful for another opportunity to connect, to share, to learn, and to grow. Thank you so much for the people that are part of the iGlobal Network in the various nations of the world. And thank you so much for those that are tuning in for the first time, maybe the second time. We pray tonight that this teaching, that this training, that this coaching, that that these concepts will become a lamp to our feet and a light to our path, will illuminate our understanding, give us direction, guidance. And we pray that tonight will constitute a breakthrough for someone, a breakthrough, that it will constitute hope and direction and a way forward. And we are asking that your presence and your power will be evident, obvious, and undeniable in every household, in every vehicle, in every place where this broadcast is aired, that your presence and your power be evident, obvious, and undeniable as you bless us with the grace to win. And this is our prayer in Jesus' precious name. Amen and amen. So I am Bishop Wayne Malcolm, otherwise known as the Business Bishop, because of my unique calling and assignment to support kingdom entrepreneurs, elected officials, professionals in industry. I am blessed with a set of concepts and tools designed to enrich your working life, your work experience, and designed to empower your progress. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to dive into these success mapping strategies. And here's an outline. Here are the points that we're going to cover. So I'm going to start off with your success criteria, which we want to look at what is your success criteria. I'm going to help you to define your own success, and we're going to factor in the fundamentals. We're going to look at the art of mapping and the difference between goal setting and mapping. We'll look at the elements of a good map, and then I'm going to talk about how to integrate your various maps. And then we'll look at the critical success factors, which I've listed here as faith, focus, flexibility, and favor. Now, those of you that are familiar with my teaching will know that these headings are very broad, and they are very often obscuring a very deep body of knowledge. So I don't want you to feel like you know exactly what I'm going to say, because you don't. So let's approach this as students. Let's be hungry, because maybe this is the answer to a prayer that you have prayed. And of course, we're focusing in on 2022 and beyond. And we're doing that in November because December can be a very busy month with lots of engagements and people to connect with and things to do and things to buy. And I don't think December is the best month to map out your new year. I think November is a great month to map out your new year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deliver this particular session tonight. And if you were not part of the series, then I'll tell you at the end how you can get hold of that series. So I'm going to start right here with this statement: success is subjective. Success is subjective. It simply means that you get to define and design your own success. It also means that we should not be caught up in this idea of success that limits success to finance and to money and to success symbols. So of course, there's a lot of success teaching available online. There are a lot of success philosophers. There are a lot of success coaches who are basically going to teach you how to make a lot of money and how to become either very rich or super rich. And the assumption is that being very rich or super rich somehow fulfills you, solves all of your problems, and makes you a happier person. Whereas one of the things that we know from evidence and observation is that many people who are very rich and even super rich are not happy, they are unfulfilled, they're depressed. Some are suicidal, some are substance abusers or dependent on illegal substances just to make it through the day. So I think we should know, certainly from a faith base, that becoming very rich or super rich is great, great idea. And I'll factor that into the teaching tonight. But you must not be under the illusion that this will solve all of your problems, fulfill you completely, or make you happy. Because success is subjective. It is subjective in that you get to define and design your own success. So I have a definition for success that I've put right here in the top left, your goals. So this is my own definition for success. Success is achieving your goals without violating your values. Wow. Success is achieving your goals without violating your values. So success obviously starts with goals, and they're your goals based on your values. They're your goals based on what's important to you. And what may be important to you is the influence that you can leverage within an industry, within a sector, within a community. Success for you may be a ministerial operation. Success for you may be academic, it may be athletic, it may be artistic. And success for you is about a set of goals that you set that are based on your values. And so one size does not fit all when it comes to success. Everyone's not aiming for the same thing because everyone doesn't have the exact same set of values. But whether you become very rich or super rich, or you just become well off, you can be successful and you can enjoy the benefits of success if indeed you achieve your goals without violating your values. And I think you know what I mean by violating your values. I mean that you know, we each have a conscience, we have a sense of, we have a moral compass, we have a sense of right and wrong. We also have a set of values that we don't want to compromise in order to become rich. So success is achieving your goals without violating your values. Now, if you go over to the values comment, your values, I've said here that your values are the things that are important to you, the things that are important to you. And you can create your own hierarchy of values. So let me just pull some names out of history. Dr. Martin Luther King, you know, he engaged in the struggle for civil rights and social justice and even economic justice. These things were important to him. That was part of his value system, his hierarchy of values. And so in many respects, he absolutely achieved his goals without violating his values, although he might not appear in a modern day success magazine. He might not have been listed in Forbes, and yet he was an outstanding success, having laid the foundation for a more just and a more civil society. The same could be said of Mahatma Gandhi, and some of the freedom fighters and the independence fighters and the people that were able to take their society forward. The issue is that you have to be clear about what's important to you, your values, the things that are important to you, and you get to create your own hierarchy of values. When I say success is subjective, I literally mean that you get to define and design your own success. And then I want you to go down to the bottom left, your purpose, we're each designed, okay, by our Creator to be the answer to a question, to be the solution to a problem, or the gift for a gap in society or in our generation. In other words, we are meaningful, purposeful, intentional, deliberate, and strategic investments by God into a generation. God invests us into a generation. He plants us like seeds into a generation, into a location. And in this respect, we are here on assignment. We have a sense of purpose. Our sense of purpose emerges, it grows. It appears as we go in life. We're not always clear at the beginning about our purpose, but at some point things happen and we become clear about our purpose. The fact that we are here to answer a question, to solve a problem, to plug a gap that's missing in society or in our generation. And so for you, success has everything to do with your purpose. And what you don't want to do is achieve one set of goals at the expense of your purpose in life, because that's not success. That's achieving your goals by violating your values. And so I guess I'm wanting us to see that success is subjective. And let me encourage those of you on Zoom to go ahead and write in the chat box. If I say anything that resonates with you, then you can shout your amens in that chat box. If you have a question, put it in the chat box. We'll look at it at the end. Likewise, if you're on YouTube and we say something that resonates with you, then go ahead and shout your agreement in the chat box. You can use any emoji that expresses your emotion. And if you have a question, we can look through that and we can do our best to answer the question, a comment, or a testimony. So I guess what I'm doing right now is I'm putting a distinction between kingdom success and secular or worldly success. And I am hereby suggesting that you can have everything that the world calls success, but you must not get it at the expense of your values or your purpose. And this brings me to your criteria. Your success criteria will integrate your goals, your values, and your purpose into the creation of a compelling future. So your success criteria, because that's exactly what subjective success means. It means that I have my own criteria for what success is. I am an individual and I don't mind standing out. I was made to stand out, so I'm not obsessed with fitting in. And therefore, I have my own criteria for what success looks like, sounds like, feels like. And my success criteria will integrate my goals, my values, and my purpose into the creation of a compelling future. When I say a compelling future, I mean a future worth fighting for, a future worth living for, a future worth dying for, a future worth making sacrifices for. Because once you get to integrate goals, values, and purpose into a vision for your life, that vision is compelling and it wakes you up in the morning. It may keep you up at night. It will occupy your imagination. It will arrest your attention. It will elicit your own expertise. It will bring out of you ideas, solutions, strategies, because it's compelling. And so, the creation of a compelling future based on your own goals, values, and purpose, that's success. That's the success I'm talking about tonight. So you get to define and design your own success. You get to define and design your own success. And it's the difference between fitting in and standing out. So you are unique and one of a kind, having been endowed by your creator with a set of distinctions that are physical, spiritual, and psychological. No one will ever be better than you at being and doing you. I guess what I'm saying is that it will be so unwise for you to compete with the Joneses for some sort of position in society. It is so unwise for us to compare ourselves with others when you are so unique. You are you are physiologically unique, biologically unique. But you have a unique personality, you have unique character traits, you have unique strengths, you have unique interests, unique passions, you have unique perspectives, because God made you to be an individual. And if God wanted you to be obscured and lost in the crowd, then he would have just, manufactured us, in conveyor belt style as some sort of mass produced clones. But he did not. He made us absolutely distinct. From your fingerprint to your retinal scans, you're different. And so this obsession with fitting in is something we're going to have to lose if we're going to successfully create a success map. My success map is not about how I can fit in. It's about how I can stand out. You see, standing out is the key to being noticed. Being noticed is the key to opportunity and favor. Leverage your difference, magnify it, and celebrate it. So you're different, okay? You're different, and that's cool. You're different by design. You are different by design. And instead of trying to be someone else, looking for diamonds in someone else's field, it's about realizing that actually there are acres of diamonds in your own field, that you are sitting on treasure, that you are treasure, and that your difference is actually by design, and it is leverage for your success and your destiny. So, if I was with you in a live audience, I would say to you to repeat after me. I am the right age. I am the right gender. I am the right height. I am the right color. I have the right accent. I grew up in the right place. I had the right parents. I was raised in the right community, because it's about realizing that you are endowed by your creator with a set of distinctions, and those distinctions are to be celebrated, magnified, leveraged, because standing out is the key to being noticed, and being noticed is the key to opportunity and favor. All right, so far so good. Now, even though I am encouraging you to define and design your own success, it is critical that you factor in the fundamentals. This is all introduction, by the way. Factor in the fundamentals. So go ahead and design your own success, define your own success, stand out, develop your own unique success criteria based on your goals, values, and purpose. But do factor in the fundamentals, because there are four fundamentals. There are four fundamentals, and here are the fundamentals. They are, number one, your health and wellness. That's your physical, mental, emotional well-being. All of it, your health and wellness. Number two, your love and happiness. We are social creatures by design. We are meant to live in society, in community, and in relationship. We are relational beings. We will never find fulfillment outside of relationship. And relationships are very much the key to happiness. So love and happiness is a facet of your life you cannot afford to ignore. Just like health and wellness are a facet of your life that you cannot afford to ignore. Third fundamental is career and finance, and then purpose and legacy. So here are the four fundamentals: health and wellness, love and happiness, career and finance, purpose and legacy. These are four fundamentals. Any plan, any life plan, any success plan that fails to factor in these fundamentals will fail to fulfill you in the end. Because if you achieve your career and financial goals at the expense of your health and wellness, at the expense of your peace of mind, at the expense of a good night's sleep, at the expense of your mobility, then that career and those finances will fail to fulfill you. Likewise, if you are working on your health and wellness at the expense of love and happiness, career and finance, purpose and legacy, you may be the fittest, most agile person, but you're still going to be unfulfilled. So each of these need to be factored into your success map, into your success dream, into your success outcome, because whatever you're going to be in the future, you want to be healthy and well, you want to be in love and happy, you want to have career and financial success, and you want to have purpose and legacy. And that's why in our coaching group, we spent some time looking at different types of a map. We looked at career maps and financial maps, and we looked at legacy mapping and how that God expects you to make a provision for your great grandchildren. Yep, I said it. God expects you to make a provision for your great grandchildren. And I know that some of you biblical scholars are familiar with the Proverbs 13:22 that says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. So that would be his grandchildren. But what we find when we study the Bible in more detail is that God is the God of the third and fourth generation, that your actions, your behavior, your decisions impact the third and fourth generation of your offspring, that is unto your grandchildren. So we help people to develop a legacy map and to look at your health and wellness as a level of your life, your career and finance as a level of your life, your love and happiness as a level of your life, because we live on levels. We live life on levels, but we experience it in stages. So when you're developing a map for your future, do not avoid or neglect the fundamentals. Factor in the fundamentals. All right, so that was a great introduction. How many of you enjoyed the introduction? Was that cool or was that cool? Write something in the chat box. That was a great introduction. So right now I want to dive in a little bit deeper, and I want to thank you. Those of you that are writing, I can see that you are writing, but I can't see what you're writing. So please, if you were blessed by any of the nuggets that we dropped, any of the seeds that we sowed in the introduction, just write something in the chat box. You can do it on YouTube as well. Write something, say, okay, you know what, Bishop, that blessed me. You really helped me to think that through. So now I want to explain the difference between goal setting and mapping. Okay? And the reason I'm going to do it is because I want you to make the shift from goal setting to life mapping. To make the shift from goal setting to life mapping, so that we're not just going to go into 2022 with a set of goals. We are going to go in with a set of goals, but we're not just going in with a set of goals. We're not simply going in with a set of New Year's resolutions. We're not simply going in with a wish list or a set of dreams, but we're going in with a map. And so I'm going to encourage you to make the shift from what you want to how you intend to get it. It's from what to how. That's the difference between goals and a map. Many people have success goals, okay? Many people have success goals, but few have a success map. The goal is what you want. The map is how you intend to get it. So if you ask people, what do you want? They'll say, I want to be healthy and I want to be well. I want to be in love and I want to be happy. I want to have a social circle that makes me happy. I say, I want to have a fulfilling career as an entrepreneur, as a business person, as an investor, or as a professional. And I want to earn a lot of money. I want to retire young. I want to retire rich. I want to be at least financially secure. And others will say, I want to be very financially successful. I want to travel the world. I want to have freedom of mobility. I want to, all these things you want to do. What are you talking? You're talking dreams, wishes, and maybe some of them are goals. The goal is what you want, but the map is how you intend to get it. And so for the many people who have goals, very few of them actually have a map, a strategy, a plan. How am I going to get it? It's one thing to say you want to be healthy and well, but how is that going to happen? It's another thing to say you want to be financially independent and financially free, but how do you intend to do that? It's one thing to say you want to be in love and happy. How do you intend to do that? It's another thing to say, look, I want to create a provision for my children's children. How do you plan to do that? That's the MAP. So MAP really is an acronym, and it stands for a massive action plan. Woo! A what? A massive action plan, MAP. Your MAP is your massive action plan, because guess what? No matter how inspired you are, nothing changes until you take action and follow through on your decisions. You get into an inspirational environment, you may make some decisions. Get into an inspirational environment, you may feel inspired to dream a new dream. You may see a new possibility, new light, new hope. But nothing changes until you take action and follow through on your decision. So what we need going into 2022 is a massive action plan. Everybody write massive action plan in the chat box. Everybody write it in the chat box. Write it on YouTube. Write it on Zoom. Write it wherever you're viewing the broadcast. Massive action plan. That's what I need going into 2022. A massive, all-encompassing action plan. Because I'm making the shift from what I want to how I'm going to get it. I'm making the psychological shift from what I want to how I'm going to get it. I'm making the shift from simply setting goals to creating a massive action plan. And in this respect, we're shifting from accidental to intentional success. Accidental to intentional. And I guess a lot of people are simply hoping that things will work out. You know, you've got a few things you're going to try and do different, and hopefully it will work out. That's accidental. You want to become intentional, deliberate, and strategic about winning in life, winning in business, winning on all the levels that matter to you. Make the shift from hoping for the best to creating the best. From hoping for the best to creating the best. So many people are hoping for the best, but hope is not a strategy when it comes to success. Hope is a coping mechanism when it comes to distress, but it is not a strategy when it comes to success. You must make the shift from hoping for a better future to creating a better future. Not hoping that 2022 is going to be better or that 2023 is going to be better. I'm creating better because I'm going to be better. Now, I want us to just think about that for just a moment. Is 2022 going to be better? Well, for me, yes, because I can't control 2022, but I can control me. I'm going to be better in 2022, and therefore 2022 is going to be a better year for me. I'm going to be even better than that in 2023. And therefore 2023 is going to be a better year for me because I'm going to create the best. I'm not just going to sit back and hope for the best. Why are you going to do that, Bishop? Because I am the offspring. Biblically, we are God's offspring. Okay? We trace our origins back to God. We have God's essence within us. And God did not start his creation by hoping for a world. He went about creating it. And he started where he was with what he had, and he materialized his own intention in stages and phases. And we are his children, and that's a clue that we don't just look at the darkness and hope that it's going to be light. We start speaking into that darkness. Let there be light. We start separating the water from the dry land. We start to speak into the dry land and speak to the sea and speak to the air. We start organizing and pulling things together in creative stages and phases, and we become intentional about what we're doing and about what we want, because that's what children of God do. We don't just sit back like victims, hoping that society will be better, the government will change, COVID will disappear, Russia and China will shake hands with America and Britain, everyone's going to be happy and everything's going to... No, we don't hope about that. We work on the things we can control. What can I control? I can control how much knowledge goes into my head. I can control how skillful I become with money, with relationships, with time, with my health. I can control those things. So I'm going to have a better year because I'm going to have a better me. Is this making sense to somebody today? If this is speaking to you, go ahead and shout, scream in that chat box. I want us to make the shift from excuses to execution, from excuses to execution, and from goal setting to life mapping. In 2022, not making excuses, I'm executing on my plan. I'm executing on my plan. I'm not making excuses. There are lots of excuses. Excuses exist in abundance, but we are not going to be making excuses. We're going to be executing on a plan. There are 4 types of map that we discussed in our global coaching group that meets every Tuesday evening. We looked at a life map, a career map, a money map, and a legacy map. Those sessions are all recorded. I'll tell you how you can get a hold of those. But let's look at the elements of a good map. The elements of a good map. The elements of a good map. Are you ready? So these rules apply to any map you develop, any massive action plan, any life plan that you develop, any legacy plan, any success plan that you develop. These rules are going to apply. So let's start with number 1, right down here. You've got to start with the end in view. You start everything with the end in view. So it starts with a destination. And of course, we know this. We live in the world of satellite navigation. And we know that if we're going to get direction, we must start with a destination. There is no direction without destination. Many believers are saying, God, I need direction. And what God is saying is that you need a destination. You need a sense of purpose and destiny. You need a revelation of your destiny, because it is with destination that you get direction. There can be no direction outside of a sense of destiny. That is your sense of purpose. Why am I here? What is the problem I'm here to solve? What is the question I'm here to answer? What is the gap I am here to plug? What is the difference I am here to make? When you get a sense of destiny, you get a vision of what would make your future compelling, then that's the starting point. So you need a destination and outcomes. I call these outcomes because goals are often a means to an end. What is the end? Why do you want to achieve this goal? What is the, I've got these goals. I got these health goals. I got finance goals. I got relationship goals. I got ministry goals. I got legacy goals. But what's the outcome? What is it? Envisage the outcome. So the end is an outcome. Think about and envisage the outcomes that you desire. Get clear about where you want to be, who you want to be, in your compelling future. Number 2, you need a route. You need a route. And that means that you must determine a sequence of actions that will produce your desired result. A sequence of actions that will produce your desired result. And I've said here, boil it down to between 4 and 12 simple steps. So what does this mean? It means that this is what I want, but here are the things I have to do in order to get there. Okay, I'll break that down in a few more minutes. Number 3, stages and stop-offs. Okay, on a journey, there are stages, there are stop-offs. So we live life on levels, but we experience it in stages. So determine your stages, including milestones and measurements, and begin to think about each decade of your life. because with each decade of your life, guess what? The rules change with each new decade of your life. So with each new decade, realize you're in a new stage of your life. And there are also things that happen in life that constitute a new stage in your life. And so factor in the stages. And in number 4, the personal power. That is the fuel for the journey. Okay, so you're going to need fuel for the journey, and fuel comes in the form of time, money, energy, and relationships. And so you're going to have to factor in some time, money, energy, and relationship management so that you're managing your time well, you're managing your money well, you're managing your energy well, and you're managing relationships well. And that you have a circle of accountability, motivation, and success routines, because you need fuel. One of the reasons why I am part of a motivational network, part of a coaching organization, is because I need fuel. I need energy. I need to remember. I need focus. I need relationships that build me. I need accountability. And all of these things, I find that in a community. I find that in a community of like minds. But it's fuel for the journey. It's personal power. And then number 5 is your vehicles. And that's a big one. And of course, we could spend a whole month looking at vehicles. Your vehicles describe your career choices, your business model, or your investment strategy. Your career choices, your business model, or your investment strategy. The question is it suitable for the journey ahead? Can it get you where you want to go? So in other words, some people are dreaming at stage 1 about a compelling future, but you are in a career that cannot deliver that future to you. It simply cannot. Okay? It's capped. It has a ceiling. It will never deliver that future to you. So it is not a suitable vehicle for your vision. Likewise, if your ultimate outcome involves a degree of security, liberty, freedom of mobility, perhaps you want to commit yourself full-time to a cause, a missionary cause, a humanitarian cause, a social justice cause, the vehicle that you're currently using may not be fit for purpose. So you have to identify the vehicles that are capable of delivering the outcomes that you desire, and eventually make the switch through your career mapping into something that can actually deliver the life that you dream about. Somebody shout yes in the chat box. Somebody shout yes in the chat box. Because now I'm going to go into some deep stuff. Not going to keep you forever tonight, but I'm going to get deep. I'm going to get deep. So here goes. Integrating your maps. Okay. So you may have a life map, a health map. You may have a money map. You may have a legacy map. You may have a career map. You may have looked at the how-tos of different facets of your life, different levels of your life, but how are you going to integrate it all so that you're not all over the place trying to focus on lots of different things at the same time? Well, I want you to notice the graphic up here. The graphic is of bowling pins, the bowling ball, and the bowling pins. Now, if you've ever played bowling before, then you'll know that you got 12 pins to knock down with one ball. The key is not trying to hit all the pins with the one ball. The key is to identify the king pin, that one pin that if you hit that one pin hard enough, it will serve to knock down in a domino style all of the others. And so I do not teach in our coaching group that people should focus on all of their goals, all of their wishes, and all of their dreams. But instead, they should identify the king pins. That one thing that if you achieve this one thing, it will have the biggest single bearing and impact on all of the other things you want for yourself in that category. So in each category or on each level of your life, if it's your spiritual life, if it's your professional life, if it is your your personal health and wellness, if it's your relational life, if it has to do with your legacy or your ministry, there is typically one thing that if you hit it hard enough, you do it well enough, you achieve it, it will have a domino effect on everything else in that area of your life or on that level of your life. And it will have the greatest single impact on all the other issues. It will make the others easier to achieve if you can achieve that one thing. So identify the kingpins in all of these areas, in all of your maps. Second thing I encourage people to do is to work with a 5-year plan. A 5-year plan, typically in 3 stages: long range, 3 to 5 years; mid range, 1 to 3 years; short range, 6 months to a year. So that your short range plans are the things you want to achieve in the next 6 months to 1 year. Your mid range plans are the things you want to achieve in the next year to 3. Your long range plans are the things you want to achieve in the next 3 to 5 years. Now, the reason why that's useful is because putting a time on your targets, putting a time on your targets has a way of removing the complacency, creating a degree of urgency without panic. Okay, so 5 years is long enough to get it done, but it's short enough to create a sense of urgency or to eliminate complacency, especially when you've broken it down into short range, mid range, and long-term goals. So, put your plans into it. Now, what happens after 5 years is you start a new 5-year plan. So I personally am at all times in the middle of a 5-year plan, or at the beginning or at the end of a 5-year plan. I'm literally about to next year enter into a new 5-year plan. Actually, a new 5-year plan. Some of you know why that is the case, because you know my age. But it's about working within a 5-year plan. Now, even when you have a 5-year plan, you should progress the plan in 90-day increments. 90-day increments. What does that mean? It means that in 5 years, there are 20 increments of 90 days. Okay, 90 days is 12 weeks, it's 3 months, it's, it is a quarter. So there are 4 quarters in a year. So when I'm looking at my goals, I'm not just looking at this week, next week, this month. I'm looking at the quarter, January to March. I'm looking at 90 days from January to March. Why 90 days? Because there are certain things that you can achieve in 90, lots of things that you can achieve in 90 days if you set yourself to it and say, I will achieve this in the next 90 days. 90 days is long enough to get it done. It's short enough to eliminate complacency and to create urgency. So when you start to identify your kingpins, okay, now it could be simple, right? It could be a weight loss target. 90 days is long enough to get it done, short enough to create some urgency. It could be a savings target. It's long enough to get it done. It's short enough to create urgency. It could be an investigation and a research-based target, but it's long enough to get it done, but it's short enough to create urgency. So you want to begin to create urgency within a realistic time frame to get things done. Because if in each quarter you can come out and say, glory be to God, I have achieved 4 things, 4 kingpin things that are making a massive difference to my outcomes in life. Just 4 of them in any 3 months will make your year absolutely fantastic, because at the end of the year, you'll have 12 major goals that you will have achieved in 1 year. And you'll look back on the year and say, you know what? This year was a total success for me based on my success criteria. Okay, and then of course, establishing accountability mechanisms. In other words, this can't all be in your head. You need a circle of accountability. You need people that you trust, people that you respect and admire, that you can share your plans with. You need to be part of a community that encourages your success and inspires your success and helps motivate you. And that's why we operate as a community at iGlobal. So now I'm going to come on to the critical success factors as we are going to, yep, I'm doing quite good for the time here. If you're enjoying yourself still, please write something in the chat box to say, yes, this is really helping me out tonight, Bishop. Write it in on YouTube, write it in Zoom. I guess I'm sharing with you all the stuff I wish someone shared with me years ago. And eventually people did share with me. But I wish we learned this stuff much earlier on in life. So here goes. Critical success factors. Now watch this carefully. Number one is faith. So when it comes to your compelling future, this compelling future that you have created for yourself, you have defined and designed a compelling future for yourself based on your goals, your values, and your purpose. What you're going to need is faith. Faith in that future. Because faith is a form of energy. Faith is energy when it comes to success mapping. It is the source of enthusiasm, optimism, and conviction. And no one can continue to fight, to face some of the hurdles, the obstacles, the setbacks, the disappointments, the difficulties, if they do not have faith in that compelling future and in the will and the plan of God for that compelling future. You're going to need enthusiasm, optimism, and conviction in order to manage difficulty and disappointments. And so when it comes to faith, you should identify environments, people, and practices that feed your faith. And you should starve yourself of environments, people, and practices that feed your fears and your doubts. So there are some environments that feed your doubts. There are some TV programs that feed your doubts. There are some news channels that feed your doubts. There are negative people that feed your doubts. There are some practices that feed your doubts. You need to starve your doubts and feed your faith and become very intentional about only watching things, listening to things, and hanging out in environments that feed your faith and convince you that your compelling future is real. Because nothing can abort the mission like doubt, like fear, like discouragement, and all of these things you're going to have to manage. So you need to identify these environments, identify these people, identify these practices, practice the things, hang out with the people, stay in those environments so that you're feeding your faith. Number two is focus. Identify a few things that will make the most difference on your outcomes in life, and then focus your efforts on achieving those things. You can't focus on everything. You can only focus on one thing at a time. So find a few things to concentrate on, and I call them kingpins. So yes, there's a million things I would like to do. I have a million dreams. I have a huge bucket list. But guess what? There are certain things that are going to make that bucket list real. Certain things are going to make that bucket list possible. Certain things are going to make my dreams and wishes easier to do. So I'm going to focus in on those things. And your focus is critical it's a critical success factor if you're going to realize the compelling future that you have defined and designed for yourself. You're going to have to focus. Why? Because everything is competing for your attention. Everything in the world today is competing for your attention. COVID-19 is competing for your attention. The government of the United Kingdom, the government of the United States, the world news, the economy, crime, everything going on in society is all competing for your attention. You want to focus in on hitting those kingpins, knocking down the pins, and making progress with your life. Because if you put your life on pause because of something that Russia has said, put your life on pause because of something that China has said, put your life on pause because of who wins the presidential elections or because of it's a dreadful mistake, because the world is still going on. Did you notice in the pandemic that buildings were still being built? Apartment blocks were still going up. Commercial developments were still taking place. Why? Because there were people who refused to read the headlines and lose focus. They kept on keeping on. And some people will come out of this pandemic in a much better position, physically, financially, socially, and spiritually, because they are choosing their focus. You cannot fight every battle. You must choose your battles, and only fight the battles you can win, and only fight the battles that God has sent you into. Because if God sends you into a battle, he's going with you. Amen. But if the enemy invites you into a battle, you're on your own. And even if you win the argument, you still have lost, because you lost time, you lost energy, you lost focus. You may even have lost credibility in the process of winning the argument. Number 3 is flexibility, critical success factor. Why? Because we're in the decade of disruption, which means this: you don't know, I don't know. If a new variant doesn't plunge us all back down into lockdown, you don't know, I don't know. If situations, tensions between nations will escalate, leading to disruptions in supply chains and trade wars that send inflation through the roof. We've seen what's happening with energy. The reality is that we are living in a decade of disruption in which the only thing that is certain is that nothing is certain. And so you have to develop options, alternatives, and mitigations. And you have to begin to become flexible so that you can quickly move and quickly respond to change that is going to be happening for at least the next decade. You can't invest everything into one model, because the one model could become obsolete overnight. We're living in a decade of business disruption, technological disruption, financial disruption. It's a decade of disruption. So you have to become alert, and you have to have flexibility to quickly move and make shifts. That's a whole session all by itself. Finally, favor. The true success formula is relational. It is not technical. In other words, you could be a technical genius and still fail to realize your potential in the marketplace. Why? Because the true success formula is relational. What it means is that who you know, who knows you, who gives you an invitation, an opportunity, opens a door for you, all of that absolutely matters. So it is favor that secures opportunities, invitations, and investments from key people who realize the value that is in you. Therefore, you should become very intentional about building a network of resourceful relationships. You should be very intentional about joining networks with resourceful relationships. You should be very intentional about increasing your relational currency as we move deeper into the decade of disruption and into the decade of destiny and opportunity. Favor is a critical success factor. So it's faith, focus, flexibility, and favor. So what I want you to do today, I want you to, number one, make a decision. Make a decision to map out your life. Create a compelling future for yourself, complete with clear outcomes, action steps, stages, and optional routes. Options. Options is so critical that you've got not just one route, you've got another route. Because if you only have one route and there's a roadblock, then you're gonna abandon and give up on your goal, on your dream. But if you have alternatives, you're going to say, you know what? Just because that way is blocked, it's not going to stop me. I'm going to find another way. There are other ways to get to where I want to go, and I'm going to get there one way or another. Map out your life. Number 2, define your kingpins. Identify the one goal in each category that will make the others easier to achieve. Number 3, keep the flame. Stay close to people and places that feed your faith and that hold you accountable. That's the 3 things I want you to do today. Now, before you go, I want you to permit me to tell you a little bit more about me and what I do. I am the Business Bishop. I was given that name by a friend who made an observation about what I did, what I said, what I taught, what I preached, what I wrote. He said, "You are the Business Bishop." I liked it. I've adopted it. It's now my brand, the Business Bishop. And as the Business Bishop, I offer services, typically coaching and consultancy. So here's what I offer, and here's what I want you to think. I'm not selling anything to you tonight. If you're interested in any of these things, send an email to this address that's right at the bottom of your screen, info@businessbishop.com, if any of this is of interest to you. So number 1 is membership in our coaching community for personal development and career success. That is the iGlobal Network. And I think it's critical as you go through 2022 that you're part of a success, motivational kingdom network of resourceful people who can help you, who will become a circle of accountability and a circle of inspiration and motivation for you as you embark on the journey to realizing your compelling future. Send me an email. I'll tell you how you can join our network. Number 2, if you have a business idea or a business that you want to take to another level, you can book a one-on-one consultation with me, in which I will use my coaching and consulting tools to review your business idea and make some recommendations for you. Now, anyone that's ever done this with me has claimed that it has set their business on the road to infinity results and beyond. Some of those people are on the call tonight, and they'll happily tell you that, yep, if he pulls out his tools and does a consultation with you, it will take the business to the next level and perhaps turn the corner for you. Number 3, we have developed success resources and courses, and you can choose from over 20 online courses that are ready for you to grab and to grow. So that means that we've got a lot of digital courses on how to do specific things in business or in leadership. And write to me about that, ask about that, or go to the website. You'll find out more about that. Number 4 is the business consultancy. And this is something we want to do a lot more of in 2022. And it's really about leveraging my expertise, my resources, and my connections to grow your business idea. So in other words, I'm connected with a lot of resourceful people in many spaces: finance, tech, branding, marketing. I'm connected with expert agencies and organizations around the world, and you get to leverage from my resources and my connections to deliver on your business goals and dreams. So these are the things that we offer. If you are interested in any of these things, if they resonate with you, please send me an email to info@businessbishop.com. Go to our website, look at what I do professionally. That's just what I do professionally. A lot of what I do is ministry, but that's what I do professionally. Please have a look at that and let me know. All right, I'm going to stop the slides right now, and I'm shortly going to wave goodbye to the YouTube folks. All right, so please put your cameras on if you are here, because I'm going to let folks on YouTube see what's going on. Put your cameras on if you can. If you're decent, put your camera on. If you're not driving, put your camera on and let's see you. Quite a few of you are here on Zoom and I'm delighted. All right, so here goes. The cameras are coming on. Hi, David, good to see you. Hi, Anthony, good to see you. You all in blue. Why am I not wearing blue? Why is David and Anthony all in blue and I'm not wearing blue? I don't get it. I didn't get the memo, but y'all look fabulous, by the way. Sarah, great to see you. My friend Sharice Evans is here. Great to see you. God bless you. Paul, you're on live. Who else is coming on a camera? Ryan, you're not driving now. Good to see you on camera. Veronica, Mike Abbott, God bless you. Charity Gladstone, you are here. You're an amazing soul, amazing person. Love working with you and your Association of Malawian Nurses, an amazing association of Malawian nurses. You're doing a fabulous job in the kingdom. Danelia is showing off right now because she's in Miami and the sun is beating down on her. Good to see you, Danelia. God bless you. Denise, where are you coming in from, Denise? Are you in
Connecticut, USA.
You're in Connecticut. Is it sunny in Connecticut?
No, it's snowing.
Well, bless you. We have something in common. It's not sunny here either. And God bless you. I think I saw Apostle LaDonna come on at some. Let me have a look through here. Fantastic. All right. So I'm going to give you a few minutes right now. Anyone got some feedback on tonight's session, a takeaway, something that you're taking away tonight? And this would be great for those that are on YouTube with us to hear your feedback. So go ahead and let me know if you have any feedback. And just unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Tell us who you are. Come on, it's an opportunity to plug yourself. Plug your business. What's up? So who's going to speak? Don't be afraid of the YouTubers. They're lovely people. Any takeaway? Someone give me a takeaway feedback before I close out.
Bishop Ryan Gordon, I'll jump in.
Hey, Ryan.
Hi there. Bishop, I really enjoyed tonight. What is that? I've got my own company. It can be found on web, www.throughthethirds.com, and basically it's a wellbeing and performance company in grassroots football and professional football. What I liked is what you mentioned about the goals versus mapping, and I'm huge on goal setting, but actually planning the journey and the different integral branches that you have to go to build that map is something that probably I haven't done before, or I've done it at a limited pace. So today kind of just opened up my sphere to be able to probably touch base with you as well, because I'm being pulled in different directions as well, and I probably need to tighten that ship. So today kind of just gave me the opportunity to say, I need to touch base with you, Bishop.
Bless you, Ryan. I'm here for that. Let's do it. God bless you.
Thank you.
Anyone else got a takeaway? Just unmute yourself and go for it. And while you're plotting who's going to be the next big thing in public speaking, I'm zooting through the YouTube right now, and you've really put a lot of wonderful comments on YouTube. Really good, really good. Massive action plan.
Yeah,
intentional about what we. Okay, who was that? Who was trying to speak there?
It's Effie. Sorry, I haven't got my camera on.
That's okay. Go for it.
But for me, it was the goal setting, the medium and the long-term goals. I think I need to intensify on that, especially the 90 days, which is like every year reviewing what I have achieved quarterly. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Effie. That's great. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we do have actually a lot of material on that particular piece. Congratulations. I'm going to take one more and before we call it a night. And then I'll just make a few announcements. So who else has got something you're burning to say? Go ahead and say it. Hey, Melissa.
Hi, how you doing? Sorry, I'm a bit unwell, but I had to come on tonight's session. It was amazing. Just a different perspective for me. I was at your session for the Navigating Life last year. I'd never heard about the 5-year plan in that way. I applied it. I've achieved 4 of my kingpins this year, so thank you so much for that. But in this session, wow. I've taken, it's been fantastic. My business, my home, so many things have happened for me. I'm so grateful. But today's session was mind-blowing about the 4 F's, fantastic, and the intentionality. That is my attitude for next year. Whoever I'm around, whatever I'm doing, my focus is to be intentional. And that is how I'm going to go forward. So Bishop, thank you so much. Simone, thank you. It was amazing. Thank you, Bishop. Bless you.
Bless you, Melissa. Thank you. That's really, really, really great feedback. Look, you're all sending in thanks and all that in the chat box, and we really appreciate it. So here's what December we take a recess. December is a recess month for iGlobal, and what that means is that I won't be doing live classes in December. What we will be doing is broadcasting some of the best classes that we have done in the previous quarter. Okay, so that if anyone wants a sneak peek into what coaching sessions look like with our organization, you can just actually see it live and direct. Okay, and I use the month to just prayerfully review what's really happening with us, where we can improve. And I'm already challenged to take the network to a whole nother level. I'll be calling up some of you to have a real conversation with you about it. Some of the veteran pillars in the network, have a conversation about it. And maybe some of you that are looking in from the outside, I might be asking your advice as well. But we want 2022 to have measurable, that's the big word, measurable and tangible results for you. And very often the learning space where you're learning lots of new ideas, very often that space becomes a non-tangible. It's real, but it's not tangible. But I think that we're moving into a season where we'll be able to actually measure the impact of your relationship with the network by some very serious metrics. So we're looking into that. Pray for me, because hopefully we'll come out of it with some real value add, and we'll kick that off in January. All right. Anyone got any final questions for the business bishop before I disappear? I see Apostle Adonna's hands are all in prayer. Emojis in prayer. Anyone got a question before I go? No?
Bishop, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello.
Apostle Adonna. Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, greetings, everyone. I apologize, I'm en route, but Bishop, I wanted to ask you, how can we sow into your ministry? Can you tell us that before we go?
Wow. Did you hear Apostle Adonna there? She says, how can we sow into your ministry? That is beautiful. Well, you know, I think what you can do is you can send the email to info@businessbishop.com, say, I want to sow into your ministry, and I will make it happen. We don't typically on this platform ever make an appeal. I don't think I've ever made an appeal for funding ever. But I do recognize that sometimes God puts it on your heart to be a blessing. And we are trying to invest in some new technology. We're trying to upgrade. We're trying to expand. So if that is a burden that's on your heart, send me an email. I'll send you a link and you can do whatever God puts on your heart. All right. Thank you, Apostle. All right, good people. Much love. Love you all. Some of you I haven't seen forever. I'm so happy to see you. And I'm happy that you survived. You survived this horrible, this devil of a disease. You survived and you're still smiling. And I'm happy about that. Okay. And no doubt we've all been through the mill, right? But God has been faithful. And we have cause to celebrate and to give him glory. So God bless you to all the YouTube folks. Good night.